Welcome to my presentation on substance use among college students. This presentation will compare and contrast the theory of planned behavior and social cognitive theory in addressing this health issue. It will also evaluate the strengths and weaknesses of each theory and explore best practices informed by these theories for effective interventions. This slide highlights best practices for addressing substance use using the theory of planned behavior, social cognitive theory, and insights into cognitive factors and peer influence. The theory of planned behavior focuses on changing behavioral intentions by addressing attitudes, subjective norms, and perceived behavioral control. For example, educational programs promoting positive peer norms and highlighting risks have been effective, as shown by Abad 2017. Social cognitive theory emphasizes self efficacy and social modeling. Group therapy sessions with peer role models builds confidence to reduce substance use, as demonstrated in Hadari 2014. Finally, addressing cognitive factors like peer pressure and risk perception through decision making workshops has proven effective, as noted by Jalian 2015. These strategies demonstrate how theory based approaches can effectively target key behavioral factors. This slide illustrates how the theory of planned behavior can be applied to substance use behavior among college students, as discussed by Abad 2017. First, attitudes represent students' beliefs about the consequences of substance use, such as its impact on health and academics. Addressing these beliefs through education can shift attitudes towards seeing substance use negatively, according to Abad 2017. Next, subjective norms reflect the influence of social pressure, including peers and society's expectations. Promoting anti substance use norms within peer groups is an effective strategy to discourage use, according to Abad 2017. Perceived behavioral control refers to students' confidence or ability to resist substance use. By teaching coping skills and offering support, we can enhance this control, as noted by Abad 2017. These three constructs, attitudes, subjective norms, and perceived behavioral control, combine to shape behavioral intention, or the motivation to act. Campaigns that focus on setting goals to avoid substance use can strengthen these intentions, according to Abad 2017. Finally, behavioral intention directly influences whether or not students engage in substance use. The arrows on the diagram highlight the processes linking these constructs, demonstrating how TPB provides a framework for understanding and addressing substance use behavior. This slide outlines the strengths and weaknesses of the theory of planned behavior, or TPB, in addressing substance use behaviors based on research by Abad 2017. First, TPB has strong predictive power, making it effective in explaining intention based behaviors like substance use. Second, it allows for targeted interventions by focusing on specific constructs such as attitudes, subjective norms, or perceived behavioral control, which makes it adaptable to different populations. Finally, TPB is well supported by research, providing an evidence based framework that is reliable for addressing health behaviors. However, TPB does have limitations. It has a limited scope, as it doesn't account for habitual or impulsive behaviors that are not intention driven. Additionally, it overlooks emotional factors like stress and anxiety, which can heavily influence substance use behaviors. Lastly, TPB depends on accurate self reporting of intentions and perceptions, which may be a challenge in substance use research. Overall, while TPB offers a solid framework for addressing substance use, its effectiveness is best when combined with strategies that address its limitations. This slide illustrates how social cognitive theory can be applied to substance use behavior among college students, as described by Hadari 2014. First, reciprocal determinism shows how personal factors, peer influences, and environmental factors interact to shape substance use behaviors. For example, a student's decision to use or avoid substances may depend on both their attitudes and the campus culture, according to Hadari 2014. Observational learning emphasizes the role of role models. When students see peers successfully abstaining from substance use, they're more likely to follow suit, demonstrating the importance of social modeling, according to Hadari. Self efficacy is critical in building confidence to resist substance use. Skills based training and peer support can help students feel more capable of making healthier choices, according to Hadari. Finally, reinforcement involves using incentives or consequences to influence behavior. For instance, positive feedback for abstaining from substance can encourage long term behavior change, according to Hadari 2014. These constructs interact dynamically to influence substance use, as shown in the diagram. SCT provides a practical framework for designing interventions that address multiple behavioral factors simultaneously, according to Hadari. This slide outlines the strengths and weaknesses of social cognitive theory as it applies to substance use behavior based on research by Hadari. First, SCT takes a dynamic approach considering how personal, behavior, and environmental factors interact. This makes it a comprehensive framework for understanding substance use. Second, its emphasis on observational learning allows the use of role models and peer behaviors as powerful tools for change. Finally, SCT offers scalable strategies like reinforcement and self efficacy building, which can be adapted across diverse settings and populations. However, SCT has limitations. It is highly dependent on context, meaning its success relies heavily on environmental and social factors, which can vary. Second, the complexity of constructs like reciprocal determinism makes it challenging to isolate and measure the individual impact. Lastly, SCT places limited emphasis on internal factors such as emotions or psychological states, which can play a significant role in substance use behaviors. Overall, while SCT provides a strong foundation for intervention strategies, addressing its limitations can improve its effectiveness in combating substance use. This Venn diagram compares the theory of planned behavior and social cognitive theory as applied to substance use behaviors. Starting with TPB, it uniquely focuses on internal factors such as attitudes, subjective norms, and perceived behavioral control. For example, Jalilian 2015 found that perceptions about peer approval and personal control strongly influence intentions to avoid substance use. In contrast, SCT includes external factors such as environmental influences and role models. Observational learning, where individuals emulate the behaviors of peers or mentors, may play a significant role in behavior change, as noted by Hadari 2014. The overlap between TPB and SCT lies in their shared focus on behavioral change influenced by social factors. Both theories emphasize how social norms and peer dynamics drive or discourage substance use behaviors, as highlighted by Jalilian and Hadari. This comparison shows that while TPB is more individual centered, SCT incorporates broader environmental and interactive components, offering complementary insights for designing interventions to reduce substance use. Thank you.